Hey everybody, Rivers here, and today I'm gonna kind of change things up for a TTRPG channel or D&D channel, whatever you want to call me. Um, it's kind of a serious topic, and it's about losing a player at the table. And I don't mean just somebody walking away from the table. I mean somebody passing away and not being with the group anymore. And this happened to us 13 years ago, and it was a devastating day for our group because our group's been together since the early 90s. And even though he was a brother of one of the original group members and he came in later, he meant a lot to us because he was like a brother and uncle to us. My kids felt like he was an uncle or a best friend to them, and I felt he was like a brother to me. I was a Marine years ago. He was in the Army, so we had a connection there through military experience, and we got along great. He became one of my best friends. He was my hunting and fishing buddy, and we would go fishing and hunting, and we would game together. And as a DM, he would drive me crazy because he would play a druid and in D&D, and he would summon things, and usually summon a crocodile, and it does a death roll, and that's the end of your guy. So your bad guy's down. But I saw a video somewhere I was watching, and they talked about losing somebody in the group, and it's a very hard subject. It's a very hard thing to go through, and I just wanted to put this out there because his birthday's coming up, and I'm recording this early, but I'll release it on his birthday. And to lose somebody in the gaming group that you've been together for 30 years or whatever, and even though he was a latecomer to the group, really, but he was with us for 10 or 15 years, and he was with my kids for the majority of their growing up, and they were in junior high or senior high when he passed, and it's very traumatic. And I just wanted to get ideas from the community on how you should actually try to play that out in the game. I did something. I brought his character into the game. Our last session with his character, and we ran it, and I had an assassin kill off his character, and then the characters had they met a grand druid, and he performed a ritual in the woods and became sacred ground, and they buried him there. And it was a very emotional game for us, for me to run as a DM, and for the players, I'm sure it was too. But I just want to know if anybody else has lost a player in a game, or a DM, someone that you've gamed with for a while, and how you dealt with that. Like I said, he was a good friend, and he's actually one of the reasons I got into YouTube. I actually started a channel before this one, and I started it 2 years after he passed, and thought, man, he'd have been a great addition to this channel. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him or think about what he's done. And it's one of the reasons why my channel, I try to keep it PG rated. He had this thing where he wouldn't swear, and he just wouldn't. He instead of he'd use darn, he'd use darnage in his instead of damage. He just didn't swear, and so that kind of stuck with me. And I want to make this a family friendly channel, so I don't swear on the channel. I try to watch very closely what I say, what I do on the channel, what I present. So that's one of the reasons why you could call me a PG rated channel. It's because of his influence on me. So, but I don't want to ramble on too long. I just want to ask, what do you do when someone passes away in your gaming group? How do you handle it? How did the DM handle it? Was it good or no? And we have a yearly thing now with the group where we get together halfway between us and another member, his brother, and we would meet in another state, and we have what we call Stone Con, named after him. We called him Stone. And we get together and we game all weekend. And somewhere in there, we usually try and have a game of Munchkin, because that was his favorite game. He was a Munchkin national champion, I think twice, and a runner-up a third time or something like that. We'd go to Origins and he'd play Munchkin, and he would play and just continue to play and win. And he became national champion, I believe, twice. So we always play Munchkin in his honor, and we have this little Stone Con convention that we do every year in his honor. And so that's how we try to remember him, by doing something like that. So let me know what you think, what you do, if you've had this problem before in your gaming circle. So thanks for listening, and have a good game.